All right, new law students. At law school, one of the first things that you'll need to learn how to do fairly soon is to know how to create a case chronology, or some may call a case timeline. So let's say it's at the beginning of a semester and you've been given your curriculum for the semester, and you have also been advised of your core key cases that are part of the curriculum that you need to get your head around, especially for all of your assessments and exams. So that's the purpose of this video today. It's a nice and short, it's not terribly long and complicated, especially with tools like NotebookLM. So let's jump in right now into the home screen of NotebookLM. So to create this case chronology in Notebook, we just go to the home page and we're going to click on the Create New button to create a new notebook. And then you're presented with this Add Sources screen. So from here, we can see all the different types of sources of information and file that we can upload. For my example today, I'm just going to be uploading one PDF document, which is a case that I have downloaded from the High Court of Australia, which is available to the public. So I'm going to be uploading by just clicking on Choose File and navigate to my file to upload. I can see my file has now been uploaded, and what NotebookLM does straight away is once you've uploaded your resources, and you can potentially upload up to 50 files and sources of information in the free version. But today we're just adding up one. But what it will do is straight away, it will provide you a very short summary paragraph of all the information that you have uploaded. Now, because I've only uploaded one document, it's just giving me a nice, very short summary of that case, which could be quite helpful if it's a case that you've never heard of before and you know nothing about. But what we're going to do is we're focusing on creating a case chronology. So what we need to do is to go over to the Studio panel over on the right side of the screen. And about halfway down, you can see in the Notes section, there's a number of amazing options in here. I cover some of these options in other videos, but today we're just looking at the timeline function. So this is where we're going to create our case chronology. So I'm just going to click on the timeline button, let it do its magic, and within a few seconds, it looks like it's ready for me to view. So I'll just click on there, and straight away, in under 10 seconds, I now have a timeline of main events for this case that I've uploaded. So let's have a quick look at the information that it's provided and how it's presented. Now, this is a criminal law case, and it is a sexual assault, or the legal issue was mainly around consent. So it looks like it's provided us a nice sequential order of events that happened on the night of the assault on the 16th of December 1995. So we can see what occurred, and I'll just scroll down leading up to, there's no more dates provided yet, but we can see here that it went to trial in the District Court at Wollongong, where the appellant was tried, and he was charged with sexual intercourse without consent. And it says the central issue was whether the complainant had consented. And it looks like, yep, the jury convicted the appellant, and he was imprisoned for a minimum of 3 years and an additional term of 1 year. He then appealed to the Court of Criminal Appeal in New South Wales against his conviction. I'll just scroll down a bit further. Again, it's interesting, there's no date there. So, but then the outcome of the appeal to the Court of Criminal Appeal was unsuccessful and dismissed. It then goes to the High Court. The appellant was granted leave to appeal to the High Court of Australia against the decision of the Court of Criminal Appeal. And then in March 1999, the High Court of Australia delivers its judgment dismissing the appeal. The principal issue considered was the effect of the Evidence Act on evidence of recent complaint in sexual assault cases. So look, I think that's a really nice starting point. Obviously, I think there's a lot of information missing. There's some dates that are missing. Now, I notice when you select the timeline option in NotebookLM, it will also give you this heading here, cast of characters, with a brief description. So there it looks like it's got a short description. So any individuals mentioned in that case is now listed here with a short description of who they are. So, hey, that might be useful as well. So that's just one example of using NotebookLM to create a case timeline or chronology. What I want to do now, though, is just show you another example of going through exactly the same process. So I'm going to go back to the home page, and this time, so that was this case here that we just looked at. Let's now look at this Cadelpha case. Earlier on, I uploaded the file, so here it is over here. And again, I just clicked on the timeline button. And so let's have a look and see what this is. Now, okay, so in this example, this is a contract law case, quite a common case here in Australia. And it's interesting how with this one, we do seem to have more dates at the different steps throughout the whole timeline. So that's interesting to see. And you can see how it escalated up through to the High Court as well. Looks like we've got some more dates, and it talks briefly about the decision. It also talks here about some of the legal issues and what was decided around those legal issues. And then, of course, there's the cast of characters with a brief description as well. That's all there is I wanted to show you today in this short video. So you can see the type of information that's presented. It might vary a bit, but if you're going to be uploading multiple sources of information, then I think your timeline and chronology information may be a lot more robust. I always give a warning that you can never rely 100% on any AI tools. There's always a risk of hallucination. Now, with NotebookLM, because it's only looking at the sources you've uploaded, the risk of hallucination is reduced, one could argue, but there is still that risk that it still may hallucinate, even if it's only just looking at your information that you've provided. So always use AI just as your starting point. Never rely 100% and you'll be fine. Okay, that's it for now, and I'll see you next time.